Elections bring out the worst in politicians and political creatures. In South Africa's 2024 national and provincial elections are no exception to this. Just a week prior to the execution of May 29th elections, the latest bigot spewing foul-mouthed racism comes out. Speaking on ANC podcast show COSATU, that's the Congress of South African Trade Unions president, Zingiswa Losi, said South Africa stands a chance of looking like Orania should the ANC lose the elections next week. Wow. Now, COSATU, along with the South African Communist Party and the ANC, are all part of an axis of evil to impress and force serfdom upon South Africans. Losi said failure to vote for the ANC would be like handing South Africa over to racist. Really? I'll tell you what, it sure feels like that's already the case. What with the African National Congress erasing brown and white faces from its party? Take a look at the top 200 candidates for the ANC. Do you see many white and brown folks there? No. Passing race-based laws, treating minorities like second-class citizens, denying them access to university, to government jobs, to tenders. Yeah, the crimes against humanity being committed by the African National Congress are unparalleled. Well, they're not unparalleled. They're similar to the actions of the National Party. She said, we will be handing over South Africa to see what's happening in Kleinfontein and Oranje to become a state of South Africa. We cannot afford to have an Oranje or Kleinfontein that is the entire South Africa. Wow, Oranje. Does that mean a South Africa with no crime, clean streets, full employment, no poverty, law and order? I should think that this would thrill most South Africans. Of course, that's not what Losi means. Rather, her bigotry shines through with the glaring brilliance of a sunny day in the Karoo. Look, it doesn't bother her that the Zulu get to live in the Ingonyoma Trust and protect their language and culture, but it terrifies this bigot that Afrikaners do so on disused, once deemed useless land, that they turn productive and that they are largely self-sufficient, not wards of the communist state. You see, these Afrikaners don't rely on the government for the sustenance. They're self-made. Yes, that's what strikes fear in her twisted heart. In 30 years, we've done so much. We have a long way to go, and the ANC is fit for the purpose. The ANC is cleansing itself, and we see the results. Cleansing itself? Why exactly is the ANC cleansing itself? Perhaps because it is chock full of thieves? Because it's kleptocracy? And how is the ANC cleansing itself? What exactly has the ANC done or initiated to cleanse itself? Nothing. Listen, ANC, COSATU, and SACP, it's time to stop taking South Africans for fools. 30 years, and this is what the ANC has brought to South Africa. Yes, they built 1 million homes. Yes, they extended water and electricity to those who didn't have access to it before. That's nice. But they didn't end apartheid. They didn't get rid of racist laws. That was almost completely done by the National Party before they even had elections in 94. This is what the ANC has brought South Africa in 30 years. Economic malaise, infrastructure collapse, no accountability, obfuscation, opaque governance, wholesale corruption, racial division, a tripling of the number of Black South Africans living in abject poverty, race-based laws, and, most troublingly, Black supremacy. It's a far cry from the Rainbow Nation the pathological kleptocratic liars promised us back in 1994. Every ANC failure is blamed on this and that sort of fake apartheid, vaccine apartheid, retirement apartheid, healthcare apartheid, and so on and so on. But the reality is this, folks. The African National Congress is either incapable or unwilling to govern legitimately, morally, and honestly. It's simply beyond their wit, beyond their capability. Instead, they lie to South Africans and convince millions of rubes that they're the party to vote for. They convince millions of rubes that they, and they alone, brought freedom to South Africans. It's the biggest crock of horse manure since Joe Biden woke up this morning. Wow. Losi has a problem with Oranje. I guess she wants South Africa to have no functioning streets, sewage in the streets, no electricity, no running water, cholera, HIV, tuberculosis rampant everywhere, and everybody living in abject poverty, depending on the state, for $23 a month in SASSA grants. Foot-sec, ANC. Foot-sec, COSATU. Foot-sec, all you communist liars. South Africans, you need to wake up. Stop looking at people's skin color. Look in their heart. And the heart of the ANC is dark, twisted, evil, and thieving. And that's the bottom line. Find another party to vote for. Put these people in minority so they learn to be humble and serve the residents of South Africa, the people of South Africa, not be there for their craven political power, self-aggrandizement, and self-enrichment, especially that last one, self-enrichment. That describes the ANC. Well, folks, 1 week to go. Lots going to happen. Take care.